Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be another Christmas movie for you guys. And honestly, guys, out of every movie that I was looking forward to reviewing, this was the one that I wanted to see the most, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've never seen this movie. Why haven't I seen it? I have no idea. For whatever reason, I just have never seen this movie, and I've always really wanted to see it, but for whatever reason, I kept putting it off, but I finally decided to watch it this year. I rented it from my library, and I'm so happy I did that, because this is one of my most anticipated Christmas movies, and after watching this movie, it honestly might be my favorite Christmas movie. But that movie is the 1947 Christmas Dramedy Courtroom drama classic, Miracle on 34th Street. Guys, you have no idea how much I've wanted to see this movie. You have no idea how much I've wanted to see it. You have no idea how much I have heard so much about it. I've heard so much acclaim. And, for a while, I was even contemplating whether I should watch this or the remake. I'm so happy I decided to watch the original, though. And I'm just going to start off right now. This movie is an absolute masterpiece. I loved it. I love everything about Miracle on 34th Street. I think it is one of the most adorable Christmas movies ever. I think it's a movie that is very important for the kids of today to watch, really, because it really is a movie that is pretty timeless. I do not think this movie should have ever been remade. I think this is a movie that you should watch the 1947 version of, because what this movie really does is it really has a lot of great message to it, and I'll get to that. But let's get to the plot on Miracle on 34th Street, which is one of the things that made me really want to see this movie the most. The plot is really, I love the idea of this movie. The plot of it is just fantastic. Basically, the plot is about, there is this man called Kringle. He's a very mysterious man, and you can tell right away that he is Santa Claus. And basically, he ends up participating in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade because the guy that played Santa was intoxicated, and he couldn't be Santa in the parade, so he ends up in the parade and everything. And while this is going on, basically, we see that people start to believe that he really is Santa Claus. He's a very kind man. He's really changing a lot of things for people. He's doing all these, great deeds for people and everything. He seems to really be like Santa Claus. And basically one day, Fred Galley, Doris's attorney, this woman, Doris, her daughter, actually thinks that this really is Santa Claus. She wants to see Kringle, but of course Doris does not want to raise her to not believe in fairy tales. She tells her don't believe in Santa and everything because he's not real. And eventually they start a court case because they end up firing him because, she thinks he's delusional and might harm someone, all that kind of shit. But they decide to start a court case to really see if he really is Santa Claus. And that's basically the plot of Miracle on 34th Street. And I think that's a fantastic plot. I love that plot. But the movie goes so much more beyond a courtroom drama. You guys know, I hate courtroom dramas. If you guys know one thing about me, the courtroom drama is like my second least favorite genre of all time. My least favorite genre, it'd probably be, maybe, I don't know what my least favorite genre would be, but that definitely is up there. I do not usually like courtroom dramas. I think they are very boring. I think they're very slow-moving. I don't think they're interesting, but this is probably my favorite courtroom drama of all time. I love everything going on in this movie. I think it's just fantastic, and let's get to the acting in this movie. Oh my god, where do I even begin with the acting? That's how good the acting is. The acting in this movie is just so fresh and so good and so timeless and classic that you have to just talk about pretty much everyone in this movie. First of all, our main person, there's a lot of people to talk about. First of all, Maureen O'Hara as Doris Walker. So good! Oh my god, she was so good in this movie. Her character is just so fun. It's just so great to watch because she really represents what many parents think of, and I love the idea of her character. Because the whole movie, one of the questions she asks is, why do parents want their children to believe in Santa? And her character finds out why at the end of this movie, and I think just the journey that her character goes on is so well done. I believe she actually won. No, she was not nominated, but she definitely should have been, because she is absolutely fantastic in this movie. Just the transformation she goes on, the journey she goes on, the fact that at first she thinks that this guy is a crazy person, and then realizes that he really is Santa Claus, is just so well done, and I loved everything about her character. Her character was just so so fantastic and so fleshed out, and I loved everything about her. John Payne as Fred Gailey, he's basically the man that is trying to prove that Kris Kringle really is Santa Claus. He did a great job, definitely. I thought he was really good. Definitely was not the best. I thought he was still amazing in the movie, but the best in this movie, the person you have to talk about the most, the person that steals the show in this movie, is Edmund Gwenn as Kris Kringle. Holy shit, this guy is amazing. This guy was born to play Kris Kringle. Seriously, this guy was nominated for supporting actor at the Oscars because of how good his portrayal was. And he totally deserved it. He was absolutely fantastic in this role. I thought he killed it. He completely knocked it out of the park. You believe he was Santa. He is just so kind to everyone. And one of the things about his character, the beginning of this movie's actually very, very funny at points. Because at the beginning of the movie, you can tell he's Santa because he doesn't like, the way Santa is being portrayed. He's like, oh, that's not how you should do that. And I loved it. He just comes into the movie and he's telling people, that's not how the reindeer should be. That's not how this should be. That's not how this should be. And it was just so fun to watch, and I love that. He was so kind to children. Just, you loved everything about his character. But the thing that really made this movie, the thing that really makes the performance, is Natalie Wood as Susan Walker. And I had no idea that was Natalie Wood. We're talking about the girl that played Maria in West Side Story. I did not realize that Natalie Wood gives probably the most adorable child performance of all time. Honestly, it really is. She is that adorable in this movie. Her character was just so adorable, and I loved everything about her. The fact that she really believed that he was Santa, the fact she wanted to prove to everyone that he was, is what I loved about Natalie Wood's character. And the chemistry between her and Edmund Gwenn as Kris Kringle was so great. I love the chemistry between the two of them because it was just so well done. I mean, there's a scene where they could talk about anything and it'd be adorable. Their whole relationship is really what made this movie so adorable and things that I really loved about the movie. The rest of the characters are very well done as well, but a lot of the characters are there because it's supposed to show what people think of Santa Claus and how they don't really want to believe in him. And the idea that this movie does. The reason the movie's called Miracle on 34th Street is because, of course, he really is Santa. I don't think that's a spoiler because you can tell in the beginning of the movie that he is. The directing by George Seaton is so good. You could tell what he was trying to do in this movie, definitely. You could tell the message he was trying to portray. It really is the perfect Christmas movie. And I will admit, there are parts in this movie where I did tear up a little bit. I will admit that. It's really a movie that makes you definitely, it has so much heart to it. It has a very important message as well, which I definitely really like. The screenplay in this movie is absolutely fantastic. I love the screenplay. And you can watch this in black and white color. I'm going to admit something, guys. I watched the movie in color. Watch it in color, honestly, because the cinematography, if you watch the movie in color, is just absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Look at that cinematography right there. The cinematography in this movie is just absolutely fantastic. I love the cinematography. I think it is great. The stuff in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade looked great. The Santa Claus looked great. Just everything about it looks great. The score is fantastic. It's classic Christmas music, but I think the score is perfect because it really captures the heart of the movie and the Christmas tone of the movie. At no point do you not feel you're watching a Christmas movie. This movie is a full-on Christmas movie. There are certain Christmas movies on this list that I said you can watch not during Christmas. This one, no. You can't watch this unless you're in the Christmas spirit. If you're not in the Christmas spirit, you're not going to enjoy this movie. It's that simple. It's one of those movies where you have to be in the Christmas spirit. But let me talk about the deeper meaning behind this movie. Now, it's not analysis. It's not analysis. It's what this movie is trying to say. What this movie is really trying to say is that Santa Claus is not just, it's not just about a man in a big red suit. That's not what it's about. It's really about teaching children to give and everything, and really it's all about teaching, not just about teaching children to believe in Santa. I mean, really, Kris Kringle put it perfectly when he said, let me find the exact quote. I can't remember exactly what he said. Let me just go quickly find it. Where was that? Okay. He says, goodwill, he basically, where is it? Oh, I forgot to say one other thing. One of the probably the best scene in this movie is when we get to the actual court case, which is not boring at all. As I said, I'm not really a fan of courtroom dramas, but this one was not boring at all, because each child talks about what he has done for them. I mean, really, he goes on this goodwill policy. He wants to make everything better for the children. It's great to watch. I thought that was just perfectly done. I loved everything about his character there, which is fantastic. And basically, here's what he says. He says, Christmas is more than just a day. It's a frame of mind. And really what that's trying to say is that we should be as kind on Christmas and as good as Christmas as we are every single day. And I really love that quote. It really works perfectly for people who just basically, I mean, think about how commercial Christmas has become. There's not one... Every commercial you see is like, Christmas sale, you know, that's all you see nowadays. They don't really show the true meaning of Christmas anymore. There are barely any commercials I see nowadays that aren't about a Christmas sale. I don't see many Christmas movies that really aren't about the true meaning, that really are about the true meaning of Christmas. There aren't any, really, they're not. And I think this movie portrays that perfectly. And I think this movie just portrayed that in a fantastic way. And I love that the movie portrayed that way. I think that was just the perfect way to handle it. And that's just one of the things I absolutely love about this movie. And I think they just handled that perfectly. The message of the movie is really the best part of this movie. The other thing you're never going to forget about this movie, as I said, it's one of the most adorable movies ever. The whole time I had a big old smile on my face. I was loving everything about this movie. It's also very, very funny. There's some very funny lines. You're also laughing at how stupid these people are to actually think he's crazy. And they even go as far as to put him in a mental institute. They want to, like, someone even suggests, let's put him in a mental institution. That's how far they go. I mean... I was laughing the entire time, because I'm like, seriously, they have no faith whatsoever. And it's really sad how much society, I mean, I know that Santa Claus is not real, but what Santa Claus is, he's supposed to be a symbolism of giving and teaching children to give. That's what this movie's trying to show. Is that Santa Claus, yeah, he's not real, okay? But he is, basically, we teach children about Santa Claus. And if anyone asks why we teach children about Santa Claus, watch this movie, you'll figure out why. It's all because we teach children to give, and we want children to give, and we want children to learn how to give to others and to do that. And I love that this movie portrays that way because it portrays it perfectly, and I just love that about this movie. And that's everything I love about Miracle on 34th Street. It really just portrayed that perfectly, and I love everything about it. I could talk about it for a very long time. I know I'm repeating myself over and over again, but that's how much I love this movie. And I highly, highly recommend, if you guys have not seen Miracle on the 34th Street, watch it right now. It is the perfect movie to watch around Christmas time. It is the perfect movie that'll put you in a great mood. If you're in a bad mood, you're not in the Christmas spirit, oh, believe me, this will put you in the Christmas spirit. Especially if it's at Christmas time. Even if it's not Christmas time, I'm going to put you in the Christmas spirit. But... this movie is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I can't believe I don't own this in DVD. I swear, guys, if I get money this year for Christmas, I am buying this. I am buying this movie. I'm going to watch it continuing. It is a fantastic movie. Highly recommend you guys check it out. I love it to death, it is absolutely fantastic. And I'm trying to figure out if I like it more than It's a Wonderful Life. That's probably my favorite, but I don't know which one I like more. I'm watching It's a Wonderful Life again, so we'll see what happens then. But for right now, this is probably my favorite Christmas movie of all time, and I highly recommend you guys check it out, because it absolutely is fantastic. And that's it, my review of Miracle on 34th Street. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. My next review will be for tonight's episode of The Missing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I've been reviewing a shit ton of Christmas movies. I know what you guys are saying, where the hell are your 2014 movie reviews? Well, guys, I'm trying to do 4 things at once right now, okay? I have a lot of things to do. Review Christmas movies, review 2014 movies, watch the entire show of Shameless, and finish the Middle-earth series. All of those things need to happen pretty much very, very soon, before this year ends. All those things need to happen before this year ends, and Christmas is in a few days, so I only have a few Christmas movies left. There's actually going to be one I review, and then the rest of them will be Monday and Tuesday, but I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for tonight's episode of The Missing. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.